This is one of those times where politicians sound like hypocrites because Mark Kelly is right. Presidents should get congressional approval, but there have been a bunch of presidents who have ordered strikes without congressional approval. Barack Obama did it against Libya. Joe Biden ordered strikes in Iraq and Syria without congressional approval. Bill Clinton did it to, Kosovo, I think you pronounce it. So presidents ordering military action without congressional approval has become pretty routine. So is it always a thing when they do it? I'm just asking. I don't know.
No.
Well, this is where those articles of impeachment come up, and that's why House Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she actually says that President Trump's decision to strike Iran could lead to impeachment.
So why didn't I'm just saying? So why didn't it lead to impeachment for everybody else? Like when Barack Obama did it, when Biden did it,
but
when
it
Clinton
has,
did it?
you know, not that it necessarily. Well, the people in Congress or congressional members will call for it. Does it necessarily mean that that they'll move forward with the impeachment process? Not necessarily, but there have been times in the past that these congressional members have called for impeachment of the president because of their military actions or actions that they've taken with the military without having that congressional.
It hasn't been this much backlash.
Yeah, I don't even remember hearing about it during the Joe Biden administration.
But I guess that's because the way Trump has been moving, but we haven't heard about it when Obama did it. We didn't hear about it when Biden did it.
I do remember when Obama did it. When Obama did it, I do remember, people in Congress saying he needed congressional approval and they were making it a thing. I don't remember the Biden thing at all. I don't remember that even making a headline.
I was going to say I don't recall, but people were very upset about the way that he. That went without that. People were very upset about the way that he withdrew from Afghanistan. I mean, that was certainly a thing.
People were upset because it was botched. It was poorly managed. It was a poor plan, and the execution was terrible. And it was so terrible that it cost 13 American soldiers their lives. Yeah, it was bad. But why is this lady up here having this conversation? She obviously does not know what she's talking about.
Well, I mean, they were it was a thing.
Yeah, the only reason I know about Biden because I read an article on NBC News last night that was literally about this. It was the headline was "Presidents ordering military action without congressional approval has become routine," and it talked about Biden citing Article Number 2 in the Constitution, which makes the president commander in chief, and I guess basically saying he don't need congressional approval. And that's when he ordered the strikes in Iraq and Syria.
Yeah, I mean, if people actually really understood the rule of law, they understood civics, they would know that presidents can use and has been using for decades the War Powers Resolution, which gives them the ability to call on airstrikes and drones and put troops on the ground for 60 days, as long as they notify Congress within 48 hours. I mean, you could have looked this up if you took the time. Charlemagne saved her, but why? Why are you out there having this conversation? Seriously. And AOC and her foolishness. See, they prey on the ignorance of the masses. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. We got a couple additional clips to get into. Let's keep going.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says the president shouldn't be impeached because he's impulsive. What do you think of that?
No, I mean, of course, no. She knows it. I know it. We all know it. That's not going anywhere. And, he's been impeached twice, and now he's still our president as well now, too. So it's not going anywhere, and I don't think that's helpful. And I think if you throw that term around, that actually diminishes what the severity of what impeachment is really reserved for.
He's absolutely right. I mean, the Democrat Party is the party who cried wolf. This is what they do. They have no solutions. They offer nothing but critiques. It's never solutions. And the thing is that there's been a plethora of presidents that have been discussing Iran. This isn't a new conversation. Trump just happens to be the first one to actually take some form of action. He just happens to be the first one, whether you agree with the actions that he took or not. He was decisive. He decided to do something. And, I am thankful that there were no civilians hurt within the strikes on either side, and we did not lose any planes. We did not lose any service members. No service members were harmed during these strikes. But let's keep going.
So just like I warned you yesterday, you can ignore every single congressional Democrat and media talking head that is out there demanding that Donald Trump be impeached for violating the Constitution and not notifying Congress. I showed you last night Speaker Johnson's statement, but now Carolyn Leavitt, the White House press secretary, has responded to a CNN article accusing the White House of not notifying Congress. A little more than an hour ago, the White House press secretary took to her X account to challenge the headline of a CNN article which argues that the Trump administration notified congressional Republicans but kept Democrats in the dark. And in her statement, she says the White House made bipartisan courtesy calls to congressional leadership and spoke to Senator Schumer before the strike. Of course, Congressman Jeffries could not be reached until after, but he was briefed. So just like I told you yesterday, you can ignore every one of those Democrats that are posting all over the social media accounts and demanding accountability for not notifying Congress of the strike that Trump had authorized. You can ignore them. They're fundraising. That's it.
That's exactly it. They are hemorrhaging money. They're complaining, and they're using this as a way to jump out there and hit their donors up for bread. That's really what this is about. It's all for show, and it's definitely about the dough. Check out Caroline Levitt.
We did make bipartisan calls. Thomas Massie and the Democrats, he should be a Democrat because he's more aligned with them than with the Republican Party. We're given notice. The White House made calls to congressional leadership. They were bipartisan calls. In fact, Hakeem Jeffries couldn't be reached. We tried him before the strike, and he didn't pick up the phone, but he was briefed after, as well as Chuck Schumer was briefed prior to the strike. So this notion that CNN ran with at the White House did not give a heads up to Democrats is just completely false. In fact, both Senator Schumer's office and CNN had to retract that story last night because it was a blatant lie. And we showed them the timestamps from those phone calls. But I want to add something to Thomas Massie's false points. The White House was not obligated to call anyone because the president was acting within his legal authority under Article 2 of the Constitution as Commander-in-Chief of the President of the United States. We gave these calls as a courtesy, and the Democrats are lying about this because they can't talk about the truth of the success of that operation and the success of our United States military and the success of this president and this administration in doing something that past administrations, Democrats too, have only dreamed about.
And there you have it. Now, who would have thought that Van Jones would be on the same side as President Trump when it comes to this particular situation? But he is. Who would have thought?
He's buying himself some time in some room. I was also in the Holy Land very recently. I think progressives underestimate how dangerous Iran is. Iran is not a normal country. Normal countries don't blind women because they showed some hair. They don't empower little gangs and proxies to surround a country and fire rockets and rape people. So Iran, the two things are clear. The what, they cannot have a bomb, and the why, because they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to all the Jews. One of those should offend you if you're progressives. At least one should offend you. And so the question, though, is the who and the how. Is Israel going to take out this nuclear capacity by dropping people there who blow it up? Or is America going to take it out by dropping a bomb that blows it up? But the what and the why are clear, and I think progressives should get on board with that. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. I was in the region. You were in the region. This is a very dangerous power that cannot get a nuclear weapon.
Who would have thought Van Jones and Trump agreeing on one thing? A nuclear-armed Iran is a no-go. And the thing is that there's a lot of countries in the region that feel the exact same way. So it's not just, an Israeli thing or an American thing. This is a Saudi thing. This is a Jordan thing. This is a Turkey thing. There is a lot of countries in that region that are like, oh, heck, no, you can't let these people get this. You can't allow them to accomplish that. Now, the question is this: does Iran fold or do they fight? Now, from what I've heard, they did let off a few missiles. They think they let off about 5 or 6 missiles towards a U.S. military base out in Qatar, or Qatar, as some folks say. If Tehran backs down, though, which we're not for sure, if that is the case, we're not sure if they're going to back down. But if they back down, it cuts terror funding, shelves its nukes, and returns to the table. This could become one of Trump's biggest foreign policy wins. They put on a masterclass. They put on a surgical showcase of strength that restored deference or deterrence without starting another war. History would crown him not just the deal maker, but the enforcer. But if Iran retaliates, and it's looking like that they are retaliating, or this could be a situation where they're just showing off for their people to say, hey, we're going to attempt to do something, but just to let it be known that, hey, we tried, so we don't look weak amongst our people. But who knows? But if Iran retaliates and American lives are lost, everything changes. With an election on the horizon, we got the midterms next year. A misstep, it could be disastrous. JD Vance, he says boots on the ground are completely off the table unless Iran makes the stupidest mistake in the world. Meanwhile, Israel openly eyes a regime change. Heck, the people of Iran eye a regime change. They don't have the abilities that we have here in the United States of America. They just don't. They can't get online and speak ill of the current regime. They can't get out there and protest. They can't get out there and picket and all these other types of things. They don't have the ability to do so because not only could they be harmed, but their entire families would be harmed. They'll go out there and they'll knock these people's heads off, if they jump out there like that. We don't understand really how good we have it, the freedoms that we have. We really don't understand it. We really don't. But if Israel was decided to, jump out there and cause that, hey, I don't think the U.S. would jump in there and stop them. I just don't think that would be the case. Bottom line is this. If Iran blinks, it's a big win for Trump. If they hit back, the risk is high. American coffins, $10 gas, and a legacy on the line. For now, let's just sit back and wait. Let's hope that Tehran doesn't call the bluff. Let's hope that they get back to the negotiating table and there's some type of deal can be ironed out. Let's hope y'all know my motto, pray, don't worry. So let's pray about it. Hey, we're going to put it in God's hands. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. I really, really am. Consider joining the ARP family, or you can buy your man a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Hey, come join us 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Come check us out. If it's your first time pulling up, please let me know in the chat so we can properly greet you. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.